Lock in with DJ Youngin.
Lock in with your favorite lockhead, man.
Lock in
Don't
with
get
your
it
favorite
twisted,
lock
man.
in,
Don't
man.
get it
Don't
twisted.
get it twisted.
It's ready to trend.
Hey, what's happening, man? It's your boy DJ Youngin, man, and we in here at the Laboratory Studios. We here for another episode of the Heavy Grind Podcast, man. You know what I'm talking about? Right here on Heavy Grind Radio, man. Shout out all the sponsors. Shout out my business partner. Shout out the fam, everybody who rock with us. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. So I got a special guest in the building today, man. You man of the streets.
Yes, sir.
Got the
What
man
it do?
of the streets in the building, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate you having me, bro.
Yes, sir, man. So, for those who don't
Assalamu
know,
alaikum, my bad.
hey, you
First
right. I'm
off,
sorry.
assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, barakatuh. Absolutely right, my brother. Got to start it off right. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. So, for those who don't know, man, who is the man with the streets, man?
Well, I mean, first off, I'd like to say I'm a Muslim brother, believing Muslim brother, and I'm nobody extravagant or extraordinary. I'm really just a regular individual, but I'm somebody who considers myself a teacher and a religious scholar. But I am also from the hood and I'm from the streets. You see what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of my outreach is back to the streets when it comes to spreading the deen and spreading dawah or teaching truthful knowledge. And so I guess that's how a couple of people kind of came about and gave me that name, the Man of the Streets, because I didn't come up with it for myself.
So the name was given to you.
Yeah, well, it came about from a couple of Muslim brothers who I was talking to, just kind of, chopping it up with dawah, and it turned into a form of somehow me helping to counsel them in a lot of aspects of life in which they were looking for. And the way that I was able to relay a lot of messages when it comes to the truth and what Allah says in the Quran and how it relates directly to our life, I found more than one brother on these different occasions just randomly coming out and saying like, man, bro, you like the Imam of the streets.
Facts.
And when I heard it for the third time from three different people on three different occasions, it just kind of stuck with me after that. I'm like, okay, maybe Allah is talking to me and let me know I need to let go of all these bullshit nicknames that I'm coming up with for myself. Like, these,
right.
You know what I mean? They really don't really describe who I am and my nature, and maybe I need to step into my true nature and be who it is that Allah is calling me to be. And if that's the man of the streets, then that's who I am, and I'm alhamdulillah, I'm proud to be that.
The man with the streets in the building, man.
Sure.
Yes, sir. So like, what was it that brought you to seeking truthful knowledge?
I think it really, really deeply started for me. I think this was back in about 2014. And I was going through a divorce at the time, and I really didn't understand why my marriage the entire time had went the way it had went. And even in the midst of me going through the divorce and the way it went, I didn't understand anything because I felt as though I had done everything the right way to the best of my ability, and that showed. But yet still things just didn't go the way I thought they would have went. And in the midst of that, I found myself turning, of course, praying a whole lot, seeking knowledge from Allah and guidance from Him, seeking answers from Him. And I found myself also going to the Quran and opening the Quran up and reading it all the way through. And then I found myself reading it again. And every time I read it, it just started to open my mind up so much to so much knowledge and so much truth in life that I had been blind to previously, that it just took a hold of me and grasped with me, because naturally that's who I've always been. Naturally I'm someone who seeks, I love knowledge, I like to learn, I like to multitask, so I learned how to do a lot of different things. And so seeking knowledge is just one of those things that's always been big to me. But when I really started to get into the Quran, I knew that this was my calling, that to read, to interpret, to understand, and to do my best to operate in a manner in which Allah created me to operate based off of my position and who He created me to be. And so that's where it started, and with me seeking that knowledge, trying to understand why I was going through what I was going through with that divorce, and I found it. And once I found that knowledge, it just let me know that that was my answer from here on out in life. Anything I needed to know and understand or figure out, I need to seek that truth and my knowledge from the Quran, and then I'll go and teach and spread knowledge from there. So that's my foundation and my starting point, nowhere else.
That's what's up. Bro, come in, dropping gems off the rip, like that real, man. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah.
so like, for real though. So, like coming from the streets, right? I heard you say like, you know, you try to like cater to the streets, so to say, or you know, street outreach, if you will. But like, how big of a part did the streets play as well in you seeking that truth or not?
Oh man, I don't even know where to start with that, because the streets play so big of a part in me seeking that knowledge, because of the simple fact that well, for one, you have to understand the streets. You have people who are considered to be in a lower level of life, probably lower income, more in the struggle, probably go through more oppression in life than most people. And so when you look at that and you think about that and you analyze that, you have to ask yourself, why? Why is this? Why is that the case? So you go and talk to these people. But then when you go and talk to these people, you find out that a lot of these people believe in God, one God, and they're not even Muslim, but yet they believe in God. They believe in the truth. They just in the struggle. See, now I look at myself and I say, I done been through many struggles in life, and I believe in God. But when you look at a lot of people who are at higher levels in life, you find them a lot of times not believing in God. Instead, a lot of times they believe in themselves, or they believe in other things, as in idols. And you don't find that more in the streets than you do in the higher levels in life. You find that more in the higher levels in life. And so there's questions behind it. So I go to the Quran. And I realize that when you really read the Quran and you study the hadith of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, then you really see and learn that, for one, most of the messengers were people a lot of times who came from lower levels in life. They were among the people who were from the streets. A lot of the people who followed them were people who was from the streets at that time. Now, of course, I'm using the terminology streets. They probably didn't have streets back then, I don't know. So for anybody who want to be correct, technically correct, you see what I'm saying? But
right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, most of the people who followed the prophets and the messengers were people who were poor, people who were oppressed, people who were in the streets, but yet they still believed in a higher power. They still believed in the Most High. And that's what made them follow the messages and the prophets. And the ones who denied the messages and the prophets were always the ones who were in the higher places. The wealthy, the rich, the ones who felt like they're in higher positions above everybody else. Those are the ones who always denied the messengers. So when you look at this, you gain an understanding and say that, okay, in the end, the reason why I want to outreach there is because that's where I'm going to find more believers at. That's where I'm called to fight at, because that's where the other messengers were called to fight at. That's where other people who are scholars are called to fight at. Fight for the people who still believe. You see what I'm saying? And teach them the truth. Guide them so that they'll know, so that they can change their ways and change their life, because there are people who don't know.
Right.
It's not the people in the higher positions and that are rich, you see what I'm saying, and given the luxuries of life. Those people know, but they just choose to reject it. They throw the truth behind their back, or they hide it, or they change it for their benefit or their gain. You see what I'm saying? To make themselves seem or look as if they're above the next person.
Right.
And so I don't look to do that for myself at all. I do my best to remain in a state of humility and humble is to the best of my ability. Like I said, I didn't give myself the name of the man of the street. So this was something that I felt like was just given to me, and I rolled with it, stuck on me. You see what I'm saying? I accepted it, and I built myself up within that, starting with studying the Quran and understanding the Quran and going back and teaching it.
Hey man, you just said something then, man. And so one thing that stuck out, right, and that made me think, right, this material world, man, and you know, like just designer this and all this, you know, expensive items and everything luxury. Like, how do you feel about how, you know, the propaganda and the media and you know, just in general, like how, you know, the cost of living and everything is so high. Like, you know, how would you describe having a healthy balance between, you know, making sure you straight taken care of versus, you know, going extra hard for the dollar to be extravagant?
Well, I mean, to answer that question, the best way to go about it is to simply focus on the things that are necessities in life, and take your focus off of the things that you may want, that you see that has been programmed into your eyes and brain to want in the first place. And start thinking about the things that are necessities in life for your actual survival, your family's survival, and the survival of your community and this earth.
In the future. Yeah.
That's the only way to gain balance. And if we don't begin to do that, then it's going to continue to be downhill from here, which it's already written that it is. So it's no going against that. But as a community for ourselves going forward, what we need to do to balance ourselves is we need to start to rid ourselves of a lot of things that they have came to us with when it comes to social media, when it comes to TV, when it comes to, like you said, all these competition in designer clothes and jewelry, because all of this is nothing but distractions in life from the real truth and reality of the life that we're living and what we're headed to and what's coming.
Nah, for real. Man, with the streets in the building, man.
So, you know, that's all it is. A lot of times the material stuff is just, you know, almost everything around us presented is just as a distraction. And a lot of things, I know we kind of spoke a little bit previously earlier prior to this HG podcast, Heavy Grind Radio, you know what's going on.
Heavy on the grind, baby.
Hey, we in here. But yeah, we was talking earlier about how, you know, a lot of things are given to us to kind of disable us. You see what I'm saying? It causes us to be dependent on a system. And that dependency, what it does is it handicaps us and cripples us to the point to where we have to depend on the ones who have stripped us of everything that we should have for ourselves when it comes to dependency. And so we have to start to gain that back for ourselves, things like make sure we own land. You see what I'm saying? Having things that are assets, not things that are liabilities. Right. Focusing on having assets, because if you don't have assets and you have liabilities, then soon all of these liabilities are going to be exactly what they are, liabilities. They're going to be gone, and then the people who have assets are going to be the ones who are going to be surviving.
Your liability is going to eat up your assets. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's how jungle life is coming.
Hey man, so like, what's your take on, or what's your opinion on the current state of the economy?
My opinion on the current state of the economy. The economy is exactly where Allah has it planned to be, based off of where. You know, based off of my research, where we are in time and where we're headed, we as believers have to get ready to really brace ourselves for a really huge and tough struggle and severe trials and oppression that we're going to have to suffer through. in order to save our own souls. And if we don't suffer through it, then we'll lose our souls. And what happen is you'll become of those who disbelieve, and therefore you'll rightfully become fuel for the hellfire. So we have to prepare ourselves. So this state of the economy we're right now, yeah, enjoy your lives, but hey, don't enjoy it too much, because what that's gonna do is it's gonna hook you in to the point to where it's gonna be hard for you to let go. And when the Dajjal comes out and appears, which we have a few years left based off of my research and calculations, Allah knows best. But the signs are here and everything is evident when you look around you. When he appears, it's going to be very hard for you to let go of the things.
Yeah, man. He man with the streets in the building, man. Dropping gems, man. Dropping knowledge in here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir. So, talk about, you know, the process, your research process, man, and you know, how do you determine, you know, or you know, the truth from falsehood?
Well, I mean, well, for one, I mean, when it comes to discerning the truth from falsehood, I think that was almost, that's like one of the mercies of Allah that He's bestowed upon me, I think, since I was young, because a lot of times I can just look somebody in their eyes in a situation and I know if they're truthful or if they're false. But of course from there, you know, when you're young, you second guess yourself, and then, you know, people always be like, oh, you don't know, so then you have to go and check and do research and you follow up, and then you see what I'm saying, and you see and you realize you was right. Well, now that I'm older, I've learned that it's better to have some forms of verification to go along with you asserting things for being truthful or false. So what I do is, when anytime something comes to me, if for one in my heart, if it sits well in my heart, then I believe it. If it doesn't sit well in my heart, if I have to question it, then I have to go ahead. At that point, I have to go ahead and definitely start my research.
So if it don't make sense, then
right. But even when it sits well in my heart, I still do my research, because I want to learn now why it sits well in my heart, so that I can teach other people when they have that feeling. This is why. But when it doesn't sit well, I'm starting my research off rip. You see what I'm saying? Immediately. You see what I'm saying? The other one might come with just experiences in life, me paying attention, observing time. You see what I'm saying? Validating things. But I always go and resort to the Quran, and I've read it so many times that anytime I hear something, I know exactly what part or where in the Quran to really go and search for my answers, that I'm able to a lot of times find them very quickly. And that just comes from me actually reading and studying the Quran and understanding what Allah says to us, and what He commands us, what He warns us, and the good tidings that He gives us. And so from there, a lot of times I'll go and I'll validate, I'll see something in the Quran, I say, look, yep, this is it, Allah say this right here. And then what I do is I'll go online and I'll just start doing research in life to see what people are doing, or what things is going on, or what's happening in nature, or what's happening with the temperature, or what's happening with this. And then I go back to the Quran again, and then every single time my bouncing back and forth is just validation after validation after validation. That's called research, because one thing about it, when you seek knowledge, knowledge will come to you. You see what I'm saying?
For real.
Most people nowadays don't seek knowledge. They wait for people to sit back and just tell them something, and they run, taking and run with it. And then when they find out that it's wrong, they heartbroken. They feel like they can't believe nobody. Well, that's not the case. You should be able to go and do some type of validation for yourself, even if you're not somebody who's very literate, can read super well. That's fine. That's cool. You have YouTube nowadays. You see what I'm saying? Or you have your eyes. If your eyes are functional, all you gotta do is not talk so much and sit back and just observe life, observe people, how they move, how they interact, and you'll learn a lot of things in life on how to discern the truth from false. And when somebody tells you something, sit back and watch them. watch their movements and see what they do. You'll know if what they saying was the truth. You see what I'm saying? Or if it was false.
No,
but if
for
we're so distracted by our phones where people tell us stuff like, oh, I bet, and we're so quick to turn our mind back, then we're distracted from a reality that might be presented right to us. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
And therefore you won't be, it is harder for us to be able to discern the truth from false. So like I said, simplifying our life, removing distractions from us, and really focusing on the reality of the everyday life that we live in. That is how you discern the truth from false. You will not find it from social media. You will not find it just going on Google just by itself.
Right.
And I can do it. I can go on Google and get to the truth. I can go and read something off rip and be like, oh, they lying. Oh yeah, nah, this the truth. Because guess what? If it registers in my heart and I know I can confirm it through the Quran, then it's the truth. If I can't confirm it through the Quran, then to me it's false and it's null and void. Allah knows best. I could be wrong on some of those instances, but on majority of the time, it's gonna be false.
They're real, man. You
Allah
man on
knows
the
best.
streets in the building, man.
Allah knows best.
Yes, sir. Got to know it. So, like, being being a black man in America, with locks, and being Muslim, you know what I'm saying? Do you feel that it makes you a target?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been a target since I was a young kid because one thing about it, I've always had the soul of an old man. I've always been smart. I've always believed in Allah, and I've always fought and stood on the truth. So I'm a target because most people who have been the same folks who enslaved us, who enslaved some of us, not all of us came from slavery. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't feel that in my blood. You feel me? Like, but even then, for those people, it's like who did that was just them. That was them trying to strip us of certain things that they already seen and knew that was within us that they didn't have out of jealousy and envy. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, I'm a target. I've been a target my whole time. For one, I'm a young, black, educated man who doesn't fear anybody but Allah. I'm a prime big target. I'm probably the biggest target. And I'm not afraid to speak out. And I'm not afraid to speak the truth. You see what I'm saying? I stand on that. You feel me? Like, and I'm a real street nigga. Excuse my language. I stuck for a lot, but it's real for real. You see what I'm saying? I just put the stamp on that across this country. Yeah.
Put in that footwork, man.
Hey, man, for real. You know what I mean? Allah is with the believers. You feel me? So, I mean.
Hey, speaking on that, right? Like, being an entrepreneur and taking on business endeavors and talk about that, man, and how important it is to stay focused.
Oh, well, for one, if you're doing a business endeavor, then that's what you should be doing. You see what I'm saying? Because one thing about it, I've learned that when you start something and you find yourself trying to juggle multiple things, you'll find yourself falling off a lot of time on the thing that you started first, which a lot of times the thing that you start first was the thing that you really wanted to do most, that you was most passionate about. And that was the thing that you probably would have been able to build the quickest in and become the most successful in. And a lot of times you'll end up circling right back around to it. So me, myself, being that I like to do so many different things, I've had to learn to really just focus myself in on just doing one thing or one business that I really want to do the most and really exerting all of my energy into that and building that one. And that's what I did. And even the fact that I like to do multiple things, what I did was I even started a business that allowed me to be able to do multiple things in one. Therefore, I satisfied my need to do multiple things, but yet I still streamlined it all into just one company and one business that I'm able to own and operate. And that's the best way that I feel to go about really just running the business. Just focus in on just that one thing and try not to juggle too many different things. Because then you'll find yourself bouncing around different places. Spreading yourself out too much, wearing yourself out, and then things they're not gonna pop as quick. You see what I'm saying? But when you put all that energy into one, then it's just like sky's the limit, man. Elevation, straight up. Y'all know what my motto is. You feel me? It's tatted on me.
Hey man, from the
Elevation.
bottom to the top, man.
Hey.
You know what I'm
Straight up.
that way.
Good grain.
So like, do you feel that it's a certain pattern or blueprint that you have to follow to become successful?
Yeah, most definitely. You talking to the man of the streets.
We're gonna break it down for me, brother.
Yes, the blueprint, first of all, basically a lot of the blueprint that you have to follow is belief in God. You see what I'm saying? Believing in God. You see what I'm saying? And operating in the way in which He said that you are to operate, and operating in a way that is pleasing to Him no matter what you're doing. Whether it's business, whether it's family, whether it's school, whether you out in the streets, whether you just walking down the sidewalk or riding the bus, whether you gotta fight somebody, whether you gotta go to war, whatever it is, as long as you conscious of Allah and keep Him in mind and do it in a way in which is pleasing to Him or which He says do, then you will be successful. I guarantee you. You can't lose. I ain't lost yet. Except the times I did it the way I wanted to do it. No. Then I lost and I was like, dang, wait a minute. I know what happened. I ain't let me get right.
See, you said something then, right?
Hey, straight up.
And you just touched on, right? So that's like self-awareness, right?
Facts.
Which like most people lack. Yeah, consciousness. Like how did you get to that point of self-awareness, consciousness, and how do you stay focused? Like what's some things that you do to stay focused that help you focus when you see yourself getting distracted and off track? Like what's some things you do?
I think about the hellfire to start off. All I hear is the flames going. And I'm like, oh, hold up.
Nah, that real.
I'm a summer baby, but that ain't gonna work right there. You feel me?
That
No
real.
sun. I need the rivers and the fruit trees.
Streams,
I love the streams and fruit trees, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I think, like that just goes back to me being conscious of Allah. You see what I'm saying? Ultimately, I laugh and joke, but I said that to say that I be conscious of Allah. You see what I'm saying? That's me thinking about certain punishments that I'm bringing against my own soul. You see what I'm saying? I don't care about punishments in life. You see what I'm saying? But I care about the punishments that I bring against my own soul because I know I have to account for the things that I do. And that's where consciousness comes into play. So I have to always think about that too, because when I was younger, I was very extreme. Everybody say I was an extremist because everything I did is just like, oh, you went overboard. Why you gotta always go overboard? Okay? They did that to you, but why you had to do this back? No, that's too much. You feel me? So I didn't understand when I was young. I'm like, hey, you take one, I'm taking 10. You see what I'm saying? You hit me once. Then, hey, I'm finna start digging. You feel me? It's like
I feel whole.
Yeah, that's how. But I realized I was wrong because I was being extreme. You see what I'm saying? I was transgressing that line. You feel me? And I found myself suffering a whole lot more consequences when I was younger. I was getting locked up a whole lot. I've been locked up by 8 times. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But it seems like since I grow up, they don't want to lock me up no more. But I guess I done got better though. That's what it is though. It ain't that they don't want to lock me up no more.
That's a blessing.
Is that I done got much better with how I carry myself, how I handle situations. You see what I'm saying? And not placing myself in predicaments to where I'm facing or suffering consequences. You see what I'm saying? Because stuff a lot of times is not worth it. When you look at it, you gotta look at things sometimes through the spiritual eyes and not through the physical eyes. Because when you look at it through the physical eyes, then you're gonna be 90% physical, 10% mental. Means you hardly gonna use your mind. But when you look at it through your spiritual eyes, then you're gonna be 90% mental and 10% physical. Which means that the table gonna already be spread for you. All you gotta do is just sit down and eat. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, I said something then though. You know what I'm saying? Got to have that balance, man.
Facts. Balance. You see what I'm saying? Can't be too extreme, you can't be laid back and get beat up either. It ain't about that. You see what I'm saying? A lot don't say that.
Take that middle course.
You know
what I'm saying?
exactly.
Facts.
Yeah. So hey,
Man, with the streets in the building, man.
hey,
Like
at one time.
the streets, man. Like it's something else, man. Right? I got this saying I like to say. I like to say the industry is the new streets, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, how do you feel about the culture, quote unquote culture?
The culture in as far as the industry.
Yeah, as far as industry, entertainment, however you want to label it, like.
The culture, the culture. I mean, I love my people to death, man.
Right.
Like I said, I'm a street nigga. If I had to give it to you from Moab Dread perspective,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, shit, it is what it is, man. It's up, man. Eat or get ate, man. I'm real street, all that bullshit. You see what I'm saying? But I'm grown now. I'm mature on the elevator. Been elevated. You see what I'm saying? The man of the street. So I gotta get it to you the right way, and the right way is our culture. It gotta change, man. You see what I'm saying? It gotta change. And the only way it's gonna change is if we stop competing with each other over material gain. You see what I'm saying? That is something that we have gained from a people who have been trying to separate us, destroy us, and cause segregation amongst us forever because they want to oppress us and keep us down because they're afraid if we come together, then it's over with for them. We running the earth. We the kings now. And they know that. It's coming anyway, but they know that. You see what I'm saying? Because of just the fact of the type of people that we are. We're spiritual people. It has nothing to do with the fact that we're built better or this, that, or whatnot. It ain't got nothing to do with that. What it got to do with the fact that we are more spiritual people. You see what I'm saying? When it comes down to our heart and our soul, we are more spiritual people than any other race on this earth. And they know that. So if we come together, then what you have is spiritual power coming together to work against evil forces. And that's what they don't want because they are the evil forces. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said something there.
So and we got that within us. It's all in the industry. I hear different artists and rappers all the time acknowledge God within their music. You see what I'm saying? I be like, oh man, I rock with bro. What he say? He said something about God. Yeah, I like him. I like his music.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you have this different, if you have more of that getting out there as far as truthful knowledge and truthful guidance the right way and trying to put trying to change the culture to operate in a way to where we're more like a community than like a battlefield of ops. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what it seems like our culture is becoming, just a big battlefield. Everybody just picked outside and everybody got an op somewhere. You see what I'm saying? When we supposed to be a community and a family. When you look at the Mexican community, you don't see that. When you look at the Asian community, you don't see that. You look at the Indian community, you don't see that. When you look at the white community, you don't see that. But when you look at the black community, you see us competing, you see us fighting, you see us going to war, you see us down talking each other. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see us just trying to always, we can't trust each other. It's just like, that's all the stuff we need to cut out, but that's all the stuff they want us to keep up because they know that's what destroys us from the inside out. We got to take our soul back, man, one soul at a time, man, and we all got to start with our own. You feel me?
Nah, for real.
Straight up.
Nah, for real. Cause like even within, you know, like the entertainment culture, right? We always had artists who had some type of substance, some type of message.
Facts.
We always had artists that gave you game, that, you know what I'm saying, you can utilize, you know what I'm saying, take what you need from it, leave what you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like,
right. I rock with them.
yeah, for real.
I rock with them.
We
all the time.
It ain't mainstream no more. But
right.
For real though. Like,
but it's hard to get there though. It's like a lot of times they're there and they may be there coming into it, and a lot of them will try to hold on to it to the best they can, and you hear that. Yeah. But you also hear that tug where they're constantly being tugged to, all right, now we done let you, brought you in the door and got you in there. Now it's time for you to come on over and filter out all that motivating your people stuff and go ahead and get to the battlefield stuff. We need you to start some wars and start flexing on people so people can flex on other people because they hear your music, they're going to flex on each other and they're going to start wars and kill each other. See what I'm saying? They know that.
Right.
And so you know, but it's some out there who are able to balance. I feel like a lot of artists who come into the industry with their own money a lot of times or their own labels, they're able to balance that a whole lot better than somebody who's just running out their deal. Because when you're running out their deal, then it's like you're subject to whatever's in that contract. Whatever's in the black and white, you're a slave to that contract. You see what I'm saying? But when you have your own label, you're trying to build a team, y'all have a label or whatever it is, you got a movement, or even if you stay independent and push your underground, it's a lot of ways to make good money like that, and people will support you. People will download your music, stream it, or whatever the new ways of getting the music, they'll do all that. You see what I'm saying? I'm 34. You see what I'm saying? I don't put my age out there. I don't care, but hey, it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? I'm not too into the technology like that. You feel me? But I know what's going on, and that's that's the best way. Really, I feel like stay underground, because mainstream it's like it's too much of a tug and it's too much of a competition on stuff that we shouldn't be competing on as a people. Instead, we should be coming together and working together and uplifting each other and putting each other on. You feel me?
Nah, for real.
So,
You man with the streets in the building, man, dropping these gems, man. So like, so talk about like, energy and like, just vibes and just how people operate and just reading energy. You know what I'm saying?
well, yeah, reading energy is definitely important. Especially when it comes to building relationships, business relationships, personal relationships, school relationships, anything. Recognizing energy is definitely important, because how somebody else's energy protrudes will affect you, or what type of energy exerts from the next person will affect you, and what type of energy you exert will affect the next person. So you also have to be conscious of that. And so when it comes to really identifying energy, a lot of times with me, because I'm like I said, I like to look at things with my spiritual eyes. A lot of times I could just look at people's eyes and their movements, and I learn a whole lot about them, and I take that as the energy that they're giving off. You see what I'm saying? The energy that teaches about them. You see what I'm saying? And so when it comes down to that, a lot of times the way I look at it is like this. Okay, you got two different type of energies. You have one energy that believes, and you have one energy that don't believe. Now, I say that because we're souls. Everybody know that. When we die, bodies drop to the ground, it's still there, soul is gone, it can't move. So we was a soul. We wasn't even a body the whole time. We thought we was a body. You see what I'm saying? So everybody get out their mind talking about how pretty they is, and how good they look, and how all this, we don't care. Because when you die, all our bodies is going to decay, because we are souls. That's energy. That's a form of energy.
Energy is not created or destroyed, it's transferred.
Well, energy was definitely created, because all things were created. All things were created by the Creator.
Man can't create.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, we can't create energy. Facts. You're right about that.
Some people harness energy. Yeah. Some people project energy. You know what I'm saying? Some people even mask energy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Crazy world, man. Like, what advice would you give to the youth, man, for today's time?
Man, seek the truth, man. The best guidance that I could give to the youth is to know that there is a God. There is still a God out here. I know that a lot of y'all weren't raised. Nobody's never taught y'all about God. Nobody's ever prayed with y'all. Nobody's ever took y'all to church or did anything with you. I know this. You see what I'm saying? So y'all don't know nothing about God. You feel me? But this coming from real OG. See what I'm saying? Real OG, Keller Road. See what I'm saying? Eastwick. Hey, I ain't afraid to say where I'm from. Keller Road, Eastwick, Backboy, 337. You see what I'm saying? Jungle Life. For real. You see what I'm saying? Real OG. There is a God, man. There is a God, and one thing about it, He watching us, man. He watching everything we doing, and we got angels that are with every one of us that are recording everything we do.
Nah, for real.
Now, ain't none of us perfect. Now, I damn sure ain't perfect. You see what I'm saying? But one thing about it, there is a God, and as long as you remember that and you stay conscious and you fear Him and only fear Him, you're gonna be alright, you're gonna be straight and do the right things in life and do good. You see what I'm saying? And respect your parents. You feel me? Respect your parents. You feel me? Give charity. Don't be afraid to give to people when they ask. Don't be nobody who grow up and be stingy and feel like you want to have it all and shine on people, because that ain't it. We ain't supposed to hoard wealth. You see what I'm saying? Fear Allah, straight up. Fear God. And it's only one God, man. That's the best advice I can give, because that's what's needed, man. These youth out here nowadays, I talked to too many of them who said, man, I prayed with some of them and they said, man, thank you, man. Nobody never prayed with me before. And I'm sitting there like, what? I couldn't believe it. You see what I'm saying? I had to say alhamdulillah and realize how blessed I was.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, really.
That I was born and raised Muslim. Meaning I had somebody to pray with me my whole life. I had somebody praying over me when I was born.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And they ain't never even had nobody to pray with them or teach them or talk to them about God. You see what I'm saying? But yet deep in their heart, they felt as though it was some type of higher power. It had to be somebody controlling all of this.
Right.
You feel me?
Nah, for real.
So it is, man. It's a higher power, man. It's a God, man. And one thing about it, if you maintain your belief in God and you die believing, then He gonna grant you paradise, and it ain't gonna be nothing like what we going through down here on earth, man. Ain't gonna be no suffering, ain't gonna be no oppression, ain't gonna be people hating. You see what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be folk competing. You gonna have all your heart desires in paradise, man. Straight up. So remember that and work towards that, man. This come from a real OG, for real, for real.
Hey, man.
Man on the streets,
in
man.
the building,
The
man.
villainy, man.
Say the bill. Talk about that, man. The Ville, man.
The Ville,
County
man.
Road, man. Growing up on that east side, man. Like, what was that like, man?
Oh man, I loved it, man. I loved it, man. I mean,
Everybody grew up on the east side, say they love it, man.
I
They
loved
say
it, man. I'm
they-
from East Sweet, man. It was like being at the fair every day, man. And to hear me say that, some people are probably watching this, probably saying this man is a psycho if he's saying this shit was like being at the fair in East Sweet. It was like a playground to me. Hey, what they let you know? I grew up on the front line for real, for real. Man, I mean, but nah, for real though, I loved it because we had a real community life. You see what I'm saying? We were together. You feel me? We was actually a community. I know we was rough. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we was rough. We grew up real rough and rugged. You feel me? We grew up thugging hard. You feel me? But we was a community. At the end of the day, we came back together. We still love each other. We still looked out for each other. We still took care of each other. Even if somebody fought, at the end of the day, you gotta sit down, y'all gotta roll up and smoke one together and work it out. Y'all can't leave the basketball court until after y'all done worked out, after the boxing match on the basketball court.
You feel
See what I'm saying? Cause you know when folk beefing, they be like, I'll pull out the boxing glove, these niggas beefing, it's time to let them fight on the basketball court. You know what I mean? So, you know, we'll get down too, but after that, we gotta sit down and talk about it and work that stuff out, and so you can realize whoever was wrong need to realize where they was wrong. You see what I'm saying? And whoever was right need to humble themselves and realize, okay, maybe they was wrong, but maybe you overreacted and you could have reacted a little bit better. You see what I'm saying? That's where communication and talking comes into play. And I used to love that about my community because we always looked out for each other, man. Like nobody could come against us. Nobody could come in our hood and do nothing to nobody. Cause we was all coming together, and we was having inside wars in the hood. It'd be the top against the bottom, the older niggas against the younger niggas. It'd be the folks who had to go to Columbia versus the folks who had to go to McNair. You feel me? It used to be all type of wars and going on in the hood just for no reason. Then we had our little small militias, a little 5 and 4s and stuff, where we did out there thugging, terrorizing. You see what I'm saying? It was every day was on jungle life, but I loved it though. Boy, I used to eat, sleep, and breathe, man. I told my mama, I said, that's the best thing you ever did, moving to East Sweet. She said, I hate the fact that I moved to East Sweet. She said, I had to move y'all to East Sweet and raise y'all there. I said, why, mama? I loved it. She did shake her head at me.
It make you the person you is, your environment, man. For real.
Man, I love it, man. That's why I'm a team player the way I am nowadays, though. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm family oriented. That's why I fight for my community. That's why I'm community oriented. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how I came up and grew up. It wasn't just about me and it wasn't just about my household, you feel me? Right. It was also about my neighbors and my community, and that's what we forget. You see what I'm saying? That's what we lack. We think that everything is just about ourselves and we forget about our own kids, you see what I'm saying? And we forget about our siblings and our parents who getting older, you feel me? And then we forget about our community that needs our help, because other people, not everybody is fortunate to have a mother and father. So somebody else's kids needs a big brother, somebody to be a mentor, help talk to them, or guide them, to step up, step up and show them the game, or get on their head too sometimes, but on some real stuff though, in the right way.
Yeah, that's real.
We need that in the community, man. We don't have enough of that, because it's like I said, everybody, we just walk outside and look at each other like we enemies, and that's not it, man. We really, most of us is cousins, and we don't even know.
Say we cousins.
Yeah, I grew up with somebody my whole life. I found out my cousin. I was 25 years old. I said, damn, we grew up in the same hood. You my cousin? Yeah, that's crazy. You feel me? So, yeah, man, be like that. So that ain't it. You feel me? We gotta you're supposed to get to know your neighbor. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, man, for real. So, like, as a father, man, talk about the importance of work-life balance.
Man, that's super important, man, because for one, you can't work too much, but you gotta work, because you gotta get some money.
You gotta
pay
work.
bills, you gotta keep a roof over your head. You see what I'm saying? The kids gotta eat. You feel me? They getting older. They gonna be wanting stuff that you can't afford, so you gonna might have put a few extra hours in, but not too much. You just gotta teach them balance their life as well. You see what I'm saying? Budgeting, but you know what I mean. You definitely always gotta have time to actually spend with your children, to talk to them. You see what I'm saying? Not just ask them how was school, but ask them questions about what happened in school, who did what to get into their life. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to get them to open up to you and get in the habit of doing that. Make them your friend. You see what I'm saying? Don't always be so quick to play the mama or daddy or stiff role. You see what I'm saying? Out to their life. You see what I'm saying? But sometimes what you have to do is sometimes you have to lower your wing humility to the children, to your children. You see what I'm saying? Just for the sake of getting them to really open up to you. And in order for you to do that, you have to be there. Time had to be. You can't just just pop up and think, and you ain't been there the whole time, and they mad because they don't never get to see you spend no time with you. They ask you what's wrong, and they still. Well, that's what it is. You see what I'm saying? You have to spend more time with your children so that they will be comfortable with you. That's called bonding. You see what I'm saying? That's the state of bonding. And when you bond with people, you get to know people. You feel me? And that's including your children. So, yeah, we all got to work. We all got to grind. We all got to hustle. You feel me? But at the same time, at the end of the day, what are we doing it for? We're doing it for our family and for our children. So if you're never there, or if you die working, you see what I'm saying, then you've done it all for nothing. You feel me? Like, you doing it so that you can be there for your family. So take that time to be there. And don't let these folks at these jobs control your life and tell you got to work and got to do this. You tell them folks, look here, the only thing I got to do is stay black and die. Hey, that was stop playing, boy. Small business is booming like yellow, boy. We done got it figured out now. They done let us in the door. Hey, man, straight up, boy. I done stop playing, boy.
You know how to talk.
I done walked out there and started my own business. Hey, that's exactly what I did.
You say do what?
What?
You think I'm finna do who?
Man, stop, boy. Hey, that's how I got out of my last job. But I'm saying, folks said, so I told them, I said, look, man, my daughter, they said, oh, well, look, your job. I said,
Hey,
Ma, what?
hey.
Say less.
Yeah, I'm way by.
I got my bag and threw the deuces, and I was gone. Get what I did? I done started 3 companies since then, man. I was selling them folks, man. You feel me?
Grandma got
and I've been surviving and working for myself ever since. You feel me? And taking care of my child and paying bills. You feel me? And still supporting the community to the best of my ability. So, you know what I mean? You work for yourself a lot of time, hey, that pays off. Sometimes that be a good thing. They push you there. You see what I'm saying? But when you ready for it, not everybody is ready for that though. You ain't ready for it. Still put your foot down in a professional way. And let them folks know, like, hey, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna come. Just know I'm gonna be here.
Right.
But when 7 o'clock come, I'm clocking out and I'm going home to my family. Hey, facts. That's it. And then strategize and work on your plan to really get up out of it, because you can work for yourself. We all got the mind and ability to be able to do things for ourselves. And that's what they don't want us to do because they want us to remain to be in the working class. They want us to be the working class.
On them.
Right, so we can rely on them,
Yeah.
pay taxes and rent, stay renting stuff, never have the ability to be able to buy and own our own land and homes and stuff. So
don't want to give you no credit.
facts. So it's a good starting point when you're young, you know what I mean? But from there I feel like everybody should always have that plan B already working while they're working. So that in the event that time does come when you have to be like, hold on, what?
And not the plan B y'all thinking about, you know what I'm saying? You talking about the backup plan, you know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about backup plan like a business, having a business already built and running. Yeah.
That way.
And plan B, like having a business already in place and that you already running it something or at least in mind that you want to do and have saving money and stacking towards that so that you can at least invest in yourself. Right. But having an emotion is the best thing while you work.
Investment is in
Right.
yourself.
And let your job pay your bills and then stack your hustle money, you feel me? And your hustle start growing to the point of where you ain't got time to go to work no more.
You know what I'm
Ain't got
saying?
nothing to pull on, man. Ain't got time to go to work today, man.
That's that elevation.
That's elevation, man. I ain't got time to go to work, man. These folks trying to cut the check over here, man.
Hey man, for real. You man with the streets in the building, man. On the Heavy Grind podcast. We're gonna do your part too, man, cause you know we go all day, man.
Oh yeah, you are.
But hey, nah, you good. It's good content, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do on Heavy Grind Radio. Can't nobody tell us what we can't say. Can't nobody pull the plug. Can't, you know what I'm saying? We just, and this what we do. We like to keep it all the way organic, all the way authentic, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you.
Man,
I appreciate you gems, man. You know what I'm
this
saying?
is a blessing, man. You just don't know. It just kind of dropped out of nowhere, man.
Hey.
I wasn't even expecting this today, you know what I mean?
Straight up.
You know, I appreciate you, you know what I mean, inviting me in and giving me the opportunity to sit down and interview with you and come and finally get in here on this podcast, which I've been wanting to do and represent for my folks, for my people, you feel me, the right way.
That way.
You know what I mean? So, you know, finally here, man, it's a blessing, man. Praise be to Allah, man. It just kind of made my day go a whole lot better because it started out, like I told you, in beast mode. But I had to get myself, my mind right, because I was going left. You see what I'm saying? I had to balance myself. And this helped me to balance, so.
Straight up.
Alhamdulillah.
Great, man. Alhamdulillah. Before you get up out of here, man, leave them folks some food for thought, man.
Hey man, fear Allah in the day of judgment, man, and just know that we ain't got too much time left out here to be playing around. So if y'all really think it's a game and y'all really think it's a game for real, just know that the hellfire is on the way and it's coming up out of the earth and it's gonna flame everybody who trying to stay here, who seek the life of this world. So if you don't want to get flamed up, then you need to seek the hereafter and you need to seek paradise, which means you need to believe in one God, only one God, Allah. You see what I'm saying? And then you need to make sure you're doing the right things in life, you feel me? And stay true to your soul. Don't allow yourself to sell your soul, especially when the Dajjal comes out. Some call him the Antichrist in Christianity. When he comes out, do not follow him and do not believe in him. If so, your fate is going to be sealed. I'm letting you know that right now. You see what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to go through a little bit more suffering and oppression, man. We some soldiers, all right? We've been going through this, man. That's why they teach us stuff about slavery, because they say, look, man, y'all boys been some soldiers, man. Y'all boys ain't unstoppable. Hey, look, we ain't stopping now, man. Straight up, man. So stay focused, believe in God, and don't allow these folks to cause you to sell your soul, because when death come to you and take you, then your books is closed and it's too late. Your fate is sealed. You see what I'm saying? And from there, you wait judgment day. And we all gonna face judgment day. Don't think you ain't. You see what I'm saying? Straight up. Straight up.
Tell them where they can follow you at, man. Where they can follow you at.
Hey, you can't follow me. You see what I'm saying? Straight up.
He said you can't.
I ain't planning on being here. You can't follow me. You feel me? I appeared and I disappeared, real pip. You know what I mean? But nah, I don't know magic stuff, but I'm just saying I be moving quick. You see what I'm saying? Like straight up, like for real. So, hey, but on another note, because I'm really about to get rid of my Instagrams. That's the only last social media I got is an Instagram account. It's Imam_of the streets. Imam_of the streets. And but you know, I think I'm gonna keep it probably maybe for a couple more months. I don't know, that may change. My birthday might come and I might be like, you know what, bump it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't plan stuff, because they say I'm a Gemini. I be flipping sides and stuff. I say one thing, and I'm like, hey, it is what it is. You feel me? I get it done. I make it happen. So, yeah, that's my social media. But you know, you can't really follow me because And you know what I mean? I don't allow people to follow me if I don't know you. You see what I'm saying? That's why you can't follow me. Because if I don't know you, you can't follow me. So
Straight up.
sorry about that.
Hey, keep seeking that knowledge, keep going. It's the Heavy Grind Podcast.
This where you can catch me at though, right here. Heavy Grind Radio, straight
I'm
up.
talking about Heavy Grind Radio.
Put this on repeat and you will see me every time.
The Heavy Grind Podcast, man. You man with the streets, man. Laboratory
man.
Studios. Shout out all the sponsors, man. Pheno Beauty, Hot Blaze Promo.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? X Squad DJs, Legion of Doom DJs. You know what I'm saying? Grand Gratitude Clothing, Money Life Apparel, man. You know what I'm saying? And lock in with your favorite lockhead, but don't get it twisted, man. It's dirty truth in the building, man. And like that, we gone. You know what's happening. Heavy on the grind. You know what I'm talking about?